Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it is great to have you. And today I'm going to be giving my Ethereum price prediction because Ethereum is looking bullish from just about every angle. I'm talking the technical analysis of the candle chart itself, indicators, oscillators, moving averages, even the volume. Ethereum is looking bullish and it really stands out in the world of cryptocurrency right now. So today what I wanted to do is do a deep dive and a breakdown explaining exactly why Ethereum is so bullish. So if that sounds entertaining at all, make sure you guys stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But that being said, guys, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Gods Unchained, and we'll talk more about them in just a little bit. So diving right on into the technical analysis of this one, there are four main pillars that are making Ethereum stand out. The first is what's happening on the most basic level of the candle chart itself. The second is the RSI. The third is the MACD. And then the fourth is the moving averages. Now, I want to take a dive straight into the indicators and oscillators first, because I think that these are some of the best proving points as to what's happening behind the scenes of Bitcoin besides just the candle chart. So what we're actually seeing over here is consistently lower levels of negative momentum upon every swing attempt to this downside over here. And so this has been happening for quite a while. And yes, we do have a little bit of things to fill in the gaps over here, but what we have seen is that even on these oscillators, we can see these closing lower and lower upon every attempt that the bears have tried to make to the downside. And so what this is showing is that there's actually lower levels of negative momentum upon every time that we are seeing this bearish pullback. Now we're actually seeing the exact same thing over here on the RSI. And if we go over here and want to highlight this, we can kind of see that yes, we did actually close all the way down at a 19 not too long ago in September. But since then we have been closing higher and higher and higher every single time that we have been coming back to the downside. Now, what this means is that upon every attempt to the downside, the bulls are growing stronger and the bears are growing weaker. Now, if you guys don't know what the RSI is, it stands for the Relative Strength Index. And while it is not an absolute, say all be all, it is generally a pretty good indicator when both the MACD and the RSI are showing that the bears are losing momentum here. And in fact, the candle chart is reflecting that. Now, of course, we do have the golden cross on this 4-hour time scale. And even as we'll look at a little bit later on that 1-day time scan, we are still seeing that, the EMAs are still pointing upwards. They're still bullish. And this is actually not too bad of a situation. Now, something that I want to highlight here is that we're not only bouncing off of the EMAs, but we're also bouncing off of a very crucial trend line. And if we actually go ahead and zoom out here, we can see that this was a previous top for Bitcoin, then turned into a bottom. And since then, we have been using this area as either support or resistance. So the fact that we're able to come back down here on a daily time scale and bounce off of the 200 EMA, the 50 EMA, and the 50 EMA on the 1-day time scale is very, very crucial. But now I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, Gods Unchained. So thank you so much for Gods Unchained for sponsoring this video. Gods Unchained is a free-to-play tactical card game built on the Ethereum blockchain, which means that it gives players true ownership over their in-game items. Led by the former game director of Magic the Gathering Arena, the game focuses on competitive play, which means that players must strategically outsmart their opponents by building decks of cards that are able to combat a wide variety of tactics. In Gods Unchained, players completely own their digital items, giving them the freedom to trade, sell, and use their cards any way that they would like, just like owning a real set of tangible cards. Now, one of my favorite parts about Gods Unchained is that since they're built on their own blockchain, they actually have their own marketplace where you can both buy and sell your cards for Ethereum. So do me a favor and support applications that are being built on the Ethereum blockchain by downloading and playing Gods Unchained today. I left the link for them in the description down below so that you guys can check them out. So something that's important to note here is that while Ethereum on this daily timescale is bouncing off of the EMAs, yes, it is also bouncing off of this great trend line, we have seen a good amount of volatility on relatively low volume. And the volume itself, as we can see over here, has been falling off and really continuing to move downwards. But, the price and the volatility has still been maintained. And this kind of begs the question, what would happen if we were actually going to see some good volume? I mean, we could easily see double or triple this volume and it wouldn't be anything crazy. So what happens if we have a buying level or a bullish level of volume that is just double or triple what we've been seeing over the last week? That could lead to something even greater than what we've already been witnessing. Now, to be fair, just in the last week, Ethereum is up over 16%. So if we are able to double and triple that volume and also maybe possibly even add to that volatility with the increased volume, it's not insane to say that Ethereum could be back over $500 or at least to new yearly highs before this year is over. I mean, again, I think that the very evidence that Ethereum is bottoming out over here is just, it's so clear to me, because what we're doing is we're actually creating this range where we are bouncing off of, and what we did is we bounced and ranged off of this area over here. What was previously the top is now currently our bottom, and then from this bottom we're seeing, not only a double bottom formation, but we're seeing this great rounding, and then also, of course, the golden cross on the 4-hour, along with everything else that I've been talking about, and of course the great breakout that we have seen already of a 16% move to the upside in less than a week on Ethereum. So, kind of continuing and adding to this, I think that the potential for Ethereum is there. It just hit a new high of the month, and in fact, actually a new high from the past 2 months almost, from what it's been doing over here. So this is, again, a move in the right direction. Ethereum's on a warpath right now, as is Bitcoin and most of cryptocurrency, but these guys are moving back upwards, and I don't really see any kind of reason for them to stop. Now, to get into the price prediction of this, which is probably what most of you guys have been waiting for, again, nothing I say is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way, but I do want to express my thoughts on a little bit more detail of where I think Ethereum is going to go over here. Now, I did mention new yearly highs, and that wasn't clickbait, because I actually do believe that Ethereum can hit new yearly highs here. Again, with this breakout, we are seeing a little bit of pullback here, so long as we bounce off of the previous top, which is going to be around like 375, I'm really not too worried. And in fact, I don't see us really having any kind of a problem getting back up into that 450 area. If that 450 area breaks, I don't see why we can't test a new yearly high. Now, I'm getting this because this is actually a previous pretty strong support line. In fact, we bounced off of here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, even 5 times before we ultimately had that break, hook, and go formation to the downside. Now, I think that this is still going to be used as a trend line. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, it could just blow right through this and not respect it at all. Obviously that would be a really good situation for any kind of a bull. But, I think that that's something that we could see on Bitcoin, or excuse me, on Ethereum, is to come back up into this area, reject around $450 maybe, and then come back down, gain some support again, and then continue back to the upside. Now, obviously, it could break through this area. I think that that is going to be my main area of resistance before it gets to that $500 psychological and yearly high area of resistance. So Ethereum right now, guys, again, this thing is looking really good. Between the golden cross that we have over here on this candle chart, and also the major bounce that we're seeing off of this trend line, holding the previous top, now turned our current bottom, the EMAs, the indicators and oscillators like the MACD and the RSI, even kind of looking at the volume over here. I am very interested to kind of see how the rest of this month and how the rest of this year plays out on Ethereum, as there are just a ton of bullish factors over here, and I'm so happy that I've been able to accumulate it here over the course of this year, because it's just been a great run up so far, and the really the best could be yet to come, and so that's what one can hope for here. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, drop a like, drop a comment, and if you guys want to see more stuff like this and more content like this, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.